Hey, Prof. Good morning. Actually, no, hold on. Hello, viewers. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us this morning. It is so great to have you on the show. I hope you've had a good week. Prof, how are you doing?
Bibby, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Hello, viewers. How are you? Good morning to you. I hope you're well. No, that's not me. Bibby, I'm very well indeed. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Do you know, I remember like last week, I greeted you first before I greeted the viewers. And I promised, I did say then, and I meant it, that I will greet our viewers first before I greet you. So I'm just going back to that, really.
Who's counting?
Yeah. Well, I am, if no one is. But yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. Very well. Yeah, I had a great week. Looking forward to service today. Looking forward to our conversation on the show this morning, actually. It's going to be a very interesting one. So, Prof, how was your week? How did it go?
Yeah, good week. Good week. Obviously, we've had some interesting, I guess, news and interesting things happening during the week. I think ultimately, like that love interest that's been courted for so long, and you'll be asking, will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? Finally, the US decided that they will somehow, at some point,
yes,
let other people who are fully vaccinated come to their country. We don't know the details of it yet, but this has been 18 months. So depending on whether you've got loved ones and family and you've kind of missed that connection, I think for some people, quite a few people, that would be good news. So yeah, in that sense.
Absolutely. Certainly. Yeah, that's so right. You're absolutely right there, Prof, because, especially for people who have got family out there, it's like, you really want to go and see your family, you want to meet them. But if you're just going on holiday and whatnot, I mean, a few of my friends have said to me, nah, pass me on America for now. I will wait till next year. I don't think they've really handled COVID properly as such. I know, and the rates are going up and all. So it's all different things. But anyway, it's all still the traveling in the right direction. It's like we're making progress every day.
Pardon the pun.
Well, let's just say that. Anyway, Prof, so, this morning, I really want us to discuss something. And I have a question. As you always know, I come with questions. I always come with questions. And viewers, in case you're just joining us for the first time, by the way, this is your favorite Sunday morning show. It is SonRise. So if any of your friends are on here at the moment, please do send them a message to say, yes, SonRise is live, and come and join us. So, Prof, as you probably know by now, I'm kind of a social media person. I call myself a social media person because...
You don't say.
For whatever reason, all of a sudden, I found myself on social media. And for me, I mean, Instagram is my favorite place to go to. And, but it's not, I'm not talking about myself now. I'm just talking about, let's focus on what we're here to discuss this morning. So, on social media, and this doesn't have to be Instagram, it could be on Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere, where you see people like yourself. So for instance, I know Prof as a friend, as a church member, in fact, as a minister of God in church. And we seem to be cool and never thought of anything wrong with him. And then I go online one day and there is, say, something has been posted by somebody and everyone is just giving different opinions. And then I see Prof's comments, which in a way, don't say that I'm sitting on the judgment seat, because I am not. We all have expectations of people. We all expect some certain level of reasoning with people, especially when we're in a controlled environment as a church, for instance, where we meet in church. So you'd expect that your views, basically, like as Prof, knowing you, Prof, anything medical, I kind of have an idea of what you would say, or I have an expectation of what should come out of Prof's mouth. But imagine then going online and your comments are completely the opposites. And I'm sitting here thinking, is this the same guy? No, actually, maybe it's somebody else. Or maybe someone is using his account to type all of these things. Or, I don't know if you've ever found yourself in that position before, if you've ever experienced that before. But I know this is something that is very common. For me, as someone who spends quite a lot of time on social media, I come across a lot of things. I see things that people that I wouldn't even expect to hear things like that from them, or can't imagine them saying it, typing different things on different posts online. And that brings me to the question that I've got for us this morning. And the question is, who really is the person? You know, like in terms of me knowing you as Prof, is it the Prof that I know in church setting that makes you, or the Prof that I know in maybe outside of church? You know, as I've heard this said before, where people say that at work, you're this person, they know you as this particular person. But outside of work, you are completely different individual. You're pretty much unrecognizable. And so, I mean, from a Christian perspective, who really is the person? And what should we be from your own view?
Well, maybe I think you might have noticed I was fiddling with my light there.
I was thinking, maybe Prof is just like, ooh, let the light of God come in here right now, because this is getting really hot.
I wanted my internal glory to shine forth, but no, never mind. So, yes, the question you're asking is this age-old question of duplicity, two-facedness. You know, this whole thing of, in fact, I think a lot of mythologies have this idea of a two-faced creature. I think it's perhaps in Egyptian anthology, we have the two-faced god, where you have, you know, I think it was Anubis or something like that. But anyway, the point I'm making is that, a lot of the idea of two-facedness is one that our cultures all around the world definitely recognize. And what that is simply saying is, when a person has more than one face, like you're saying, which one actually represents that person? Especially if those faces are different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If those faces are very different. Now, in some ways, that is not necessarily a negative thing, because you see in the Bible, in Revelation, in Ezekiel, where the Bible talks of this creature that has 4 different faces, I think human, bull, eagle, and so forth.
Yeah.
So, and so again, what do we make of it? Now, to the question and to the example you're giving, I think you're even being generous. I think that the more painful one, and people who have been unfortunately in situations where they've experienced conflict in society, whether at the personal level, society level, even national level, you find people telling you stories about people who are friends or who they thought were friends and neighbors, as long as they're within one environment, and then they go into another environment, and then suddenly another side of them comes out, and not a complementary side, by the way. Okay, you're talking of a side that perhaps might be violent, a side that perhaps might be supporting and advocating what you would say is evil, a side that would be intolerant, xenophobic, whatever you might want to call it, a side that might even be promoting something that in your other life, say in church or whatever, you say the exact opposite of, right?
Sure.
And so that's where the confusion rises. You think, I thought I knew this person, but what am I seeing? Yeah. You know, the reason I'm giving all these examples, the reason I started to talk about all the cultures and the kind of the religions of the world talking about this, is that actually, I think this has its roots as a spiritual question, right? Or if you like, roots in the spirit and in the soul. Because that's really what we're talking. We're not saying that people physically change their faces. I mean, you could wear a face mask or whatever, right? Yeah. But that's not what we're saying. We're saying their behavior changes. Something comes out of them that they've successfully concealed from you, and maybe from other people around them as well. And we're asking the question, is it that they've been pretending around me? Or is it that actually they don't even know that this part of them exists, and they just needed to be in the right environment for that part to come out? Right? And that brings me to this scripture that I talk about quite a few times. I think this is in Jeremiah chapter 17, where the Bible says, the heart of man is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Yes, and we see this reference and this theme all through the Bible, where the Bible talks about how the heart is a difficult thing to know, and sometimes even for the person, the owner of the heart, sometimes they don't know. And that's why David, one of the Psalms, prayed and said, unite my heart to fear your name. Because sometimes one's heart can be fragmented. And unfortunately, where there is no light, sometimes people don't realize that these things are in their own hearts. Between the two of us, and I'm sure everybody else that is watching, think back just into your own life and think of how many times, hopefully not so much now that you're older, but before you became, before you became really self-aware and worked on yourself, how many times you did something that you thought, I can't believe I did that.
I know.
Or you said something that actually, even now, how many years later, 10 years, 20 years, whatever number, you're still deeply, deeply embarrassed about, because you can't believe that you said that. You can't believe that you acted that way, right? And so I say that to always come with a perspective of, I guess, sympathetic consideration. You know, the way the Bible says, when you see somebody who's done wrong, restore them with a spirit of humility, because you yourself might be in that state. So this is for people who find themselves in a certain environment and they get caught up with the moment, right? Or whatever, they find themselves in that perfect storm where all the things come together, as so to speak, the stars align, and then that part of themselves that they didn't know was there starts to come out. That hatred, right? The hate they didn't know was there starts to come out. Xenophobia they didn't know was there starts to come out. The prejudice starts to come out, right? Now, if we're being honest with ourselves, when this kind of thing happens, because we have an anchor, because we have a horizon, because we have a standard, when we go back and we look at it, we need to be honest with ourselves and say, you know, I see there's a problem here that I need to deal with, right? I need to deal with it. But that's one group. But the other group of people, which unfortunately I believe are also quite common, are the groups of people who have become professional actors or actors, if you like.
I like the way you put it, professional actors.
Professional, right? And obviously I'm saying this tongue in cheek because nobody is paying them, or who knows, maybe they are being paid. But these are people who have perfected the art, or at least worked on it so much that it becomes a second nature to them, that when they come into a new environment, they quickly identify what is expected. And then they play that role. The problem with being like that is actually sometimes those people don't even know who they are. Right? Because they play chameleon so much and they change color to suit their environment so much that they may think they know who they are, but if you watch them and find how they change, so when they're in church now, they are speaking all the Churchianese, Christianese, right? And all the things, and not saying things, the things because they know that's what you want to hear. And then they get into another environment, right? An environment that is different. Say they're in a place where people are watching football or they're talking politics, and then suddenly other things come out. If you ask that person who is the real you, they may struggle because they will say, well, it's both of them.
It depends on my location.
It depends on my location.
On my environment.
Well, you might say that the slight challenge with that is, if you remember in the book of James, when James was talking about how we use our tongues, and he said, brethren, this ought not to be. How can you use the same mouth? With the same mouth you bless God, and with the same mouth you curse other men. And then he said, does a tree bear both good and bad fruit? Does a spring bring forth both sweet and bitter water? So it should not be. And so there's a fundamental conflict in there, right? When you see a spring that is bringing, you go there, the water is good this time, you move to that side, good. You say to yourself, there's something not right here, right? That's not the nature of a spring. And if we're saying that we have the nature of Christ, or not, yes, it's got to be one or the other, and we have to make a choice, right? Sooner or later. And I think sometimes when we're saying this, I know I've been giving the examples of people saying things that we would find perhaps unpalatable, people saying things that we would not agree with, but sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's not even about saying something right or wrong, as you might say, or good or bad. It might just be a completely different perception, behavior, right? And then you ask yourself, I'm confused. People that work with this person and are around this person genuinely confused. Their family is confused. I don't recognize this person as my spouse, because when I'm with you, you behave completely differently. And now you're with this group of people, you behave differently. And then so even beyond the idea of somebody saying something objectionable and behaving in an objectionable manner, there's also the impact it has on relationships. Because imagine knowing this person and thinking that, yes, I can vouch for this person, and then you go with them to a different place and they behave so differently that you start to question I thought I knew this person. Clearly I don't.
Yeah,
You know?
yes.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. And you said it. It's either people are just not aware, or because, as you said, sometimes you do things and you're thinking, did I just do that? Did I just say that? How did that come? It's like, for instance, for people that say that, I don't swear. I don't swear. I don't swear. But under your breath, you're swearing like any other person, but you just don't say it out. And I will say that a day will come, you find yourself in a situation, and then the next thing is you're just gonna say it. So
you've heard this toothpaste story. I'm sure you've heard it. Toothpaste, right? When you squeeze it, what's inside comes out.
Exactly. Do you understand? So you get the push comes to shove, the right thing, not the right thing, but whatever it is that is within comes out. And I guess it's going to be a challenge in terms of maybe what we should look at is, how do we become more aware of this? Because you've said it. It's not like sometimes people aren't doing it because they are aware. Of course, there are the professional ones. Yes, we know that. But let's just say for a normal human being, we just didn't know that, they've got this kind of, how do you become aware? How do you kind of be more aware of it and deal with it? Because we need to look at the real you.
It's a conscious, activity. You have to be first. Again, the Bible says God desires truth in the inward parts.
Yeah.
What God desires of us is truth, not perfection, right?
Yeah.
Same reason Jesus said to the religious leaders at the time, I have issue with you because you say you're not blind. If you had said you were blind, not a problem. We can fix it.
Right. Yeah.
But is that truth in the inward parts? And ultimately, when people set out to deceive others, right? When they set out to deceive others, there's already a falsehood inside, right? That's why there's a difference between somebody telling a lie and somebody being incorrect.
Incorrect, yes.
They may say exactly the same thing, but one is saying it, they know it's a lie, and they are using it with the intention to deceive and to gain an advantage. Mm-hmm. Another person may not recognize that, even if they know it's not factually correct, but they are stating it from a place of, I don't know any better.
That's
right. Slightly different.
So
I say that it's that element. Regardless, I've given all these different examples, and I've said, ultimately, we are responsible for the pursuit of truth. That's what we're called to. Jesus said it this way: you are my disciples if you do what I ask you, what I say, and you will know the truth.
That's right.
And then that truth will set you free. So ultimately, when we come to Christ, we come to the truth, because He is the way, the truth. And if we're not comfortable to tell ourselves the truth, and to allow the light that is the truth to shine inside, then we have these situations, right? Our time has come to an end, but I just want to leave our listeners with one illustration and then see what they say. Well, maybe we'll revisit this. So I'll give you an example, true life story, but obviously I'm going to change things around so you have no way of finding out who I'm talking about. But this individual saw this lady, they've been very friends for a long time, known this lady for many years, right from when they were little. Always liked her, and then got to a point, finally kind of asked her to be with him, and she said yes. And in his mind, they were working and planning everything to go and get married. They would spend time together, just all of those things. And then one day, after speaking to this lady, he gets a call. And then on the phone on the other side, remember, this son he's known for years, known from anybody. On the phone on the other side is another man crying. He said, please leave my wife alone. Don't destroy our marriage. I'm going to leave the story here. If you want to hear more, come back next week.
I mean, it's like, even Prof, I am like, please, I want to know. You say you're changing things. I'm thinking, okay, who fits that description? Anyways, well, thank you. You can't just leave us like this. Well, viewers, we are all in the same boat. So Prof is on his own right now. So, I mean, our time is fast spent. So let's see whether we can get this back next week. See what Prof will come back with. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, will be our Spotlight Minutes.
We are back. Midweek live classes are live every Wednesday, starting Wednesday the 8th of September from 7:25 p.m. prompt on YouTube and Facebook at House on the Rock London. Are these the last days? Are we in the end times? How do you navigate these strange times? It is time for the sons of Issachar to arise. Pastor Temi is back, teaching a loaded series on decoding times and seasons. It's going to be lit, and you don't want to miss a beat. Invite someone along. Every Wednesday from 7:25 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook at House on the Rock London.
Hi, Maria. Good morning to you.
Maria, welcome.
So good to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Again,
you.
yes.
Yes.
You're one of our returning cohort, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to be back. Thank you.
How are you?
Well, that also means that expectations are high, Maria.
Yes, Prof, you can say that again. You really can say that again. Yeah, but Maria, don't worry, no pressure at all.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that there are some people who, from last time you came, maybe they started watching SonRise after then, so they may not know much about you. So, can you help us? Help them. Tell us one thing about yourself that those watching may not know.
Okay, so over the lockdown, I started doing like a media course. So now I'm doing the media for church, which was a skill that I picked up. So all the publishing on the social media handles in regards to the quotes. So I'm doing that. So that's something I kind of learned over the lockdown.
Oh, wow. Well done, you.
Again, you know, Bibby, all these people that come here and they tell us about what they can do, and straight away I can see some departments in church sharpening,
they're sharpening their eyes and
yes, I know, I'm going to pick this one. So.
We know the person to speak to. But anyway, this is why the show is here, right? So we can showcase different people with different, like, all these great things. I mean, I didn't even know that you started that during lockdown. So that's really good. Well done. Well done.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Anyways, well, let's move on to Spotlight Minutes. Yes. Yeah. So Maria, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you very much for having me.
You have joined us for the Spotlight Minutes. At least, I mean, you're not a stranger here, so you know how we roll. But I would still ask you to know whether you want to go for the first option, which is all about you. That's where Prof reads questions out to you and you answer as many as possible under 30 seconds, or the second option, which is tell me something. So this is where we give you a word. I'll give you a word, and then you can use that word as many times as possible under 30 seconds. So what will be your option this morning?
I think I'll go with the first option.
The first one. So yeah, all about you. Well, of course, we want to know more about you. So Prof, are you ready for us?
Ready to go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Maria, are you ready?
I'm ready.
The timer will be on the screen, but if you can't see it, don't worry about it. I'll tell you when your time starts and when it ends, okay? But as I always say, if you're not sure of a question, just say pass so Prof can read another question to you just to save yourself some time, all right? Okay, so Maria, your time starts now.
What's your favorite emoji?
Smile.
What's your ultimate dream job?
Chattered fellows lawyer.
What was your favorite age?
10.
What did you want to be as a child?
Pharmacist.
What's the most addictive site on the internet?
Pass.
What's the one thing you never get bored of?
Watching telly.
What's the last show you binge watched?
Time up.
Yeah, I wasn't going to drop that. Well, that was 5, wasn't it?
That was 5. That was 5. Well done, Maria. Well done.
Well done.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's good. So I'm just thinking about the last time that you were here and now comparing to what your answers were on this time. I found something about you now. So, which is the question about, what was that question you asked her? The second question, again, your favorite age. And you said 10. So I need to find out from you. Of course, we'll do that off the show. So we don't, because probably don't want Prof to know about it, right? So I can find out why 10 was your favorite age.
Yeah.
Well done. That was really good.
Well done.
Thank you so much for joining us again, and we'll see you in service. Okay.
Yeah.
See you in service.
Okay. See you
Bye-bye.
soon.
Bye. Great week. Bye.
Oh, well done, Maria. That was so good. Thank you for joining us. I mean, this is the fun that we have here. You know, when people come in, even though she had been before, coming back again probably felt more comfortable and more confident, you know, but I loved it. I enjoyed that because as Maria was just answering the questions, I was thinking, just keep going. Maybe we'll get to 7. But anyways, it seems Mayowa and who is the second person?
There are 4 of them now. I can't quite remember.
4 of them. Okay, all our leaders so far. It seems the crowns don't want to leave you guys, but enjoy it. Don't worry. At some point, we'll get someone new to get the crowns off you guys. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been great as always. Please don't go anywhere. It is that time of service, and Prof, please take us into service.
Thank you, Bibby. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us so far. Well, would you know it? Today is the last Sunday in September.
I know.
That just sounds ridiculous when you think about it, right?
know.
Yeah.
Like, where did the year go?
Yeah, but it is actually, because by next Friday it'll be 1st October. So this is the last Sunday in September. It does mean that this is Thanksgiving Sunday, but also it's a special Sunday in the church calendar because we're having the baptismal Sunday, baptismal service. So for those who are being baptized, this is the day that they come along with their friends, family, well-wishers for that to happen. So it's certainly going to be a packed Sunday. Of course, having said all that, we have the usual, which we expect and we anticipate and we look forward to, and that's Hill City, that's Pastor Temi, and that's you and me.
Absolutely.
So don't go anywhere. See you in church.
See you in church,
Bless you.
people.